Coming up on First at 4, Hazard prepares to celebrate the 4th of July. And we'll take a look at how those 4th of July festivities can be a painful and emotional experience for some.
Plus, spotty storms continue this evening as we finally look to get a break from the storminess. The very latest coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, while some towns had weekend Independence Day celebrations, others have events planned on the 4th tomorrow. In Hazard, officials are hoping more people will attend with the addition of new events to bring more people downtown.
We're trying to add something every year. This year's the new event's the hot dog eating contest. And you know, the firemen, the police department, city employees, they all cook.
The 4th of July celebration in Hazard begins tomorrow at 11 a.m. with that fish fry next to City Hall. It will end tomorrow evening around 9:45 with a fireworks display with plenty of events in between. With those fireworks expected to light up the sky tomorrow night in some towns, those bright explosions can trigger panic attacks and other issues related to post-traumatic stress disorder. For veterans and those who have experienced trauma, Dr. John Jones in Hazard says the day can bring back bad memories.
When it comes to our veterans, when they hear some of the loud bangs, I mean, it's just like explosions that they saw possibly in war. And these can trigger flashbacks to events that happened, likely that are traumatic.
Firework-related PTSD impacts people across the country. WYMT's Olivia Calfee will have more tonight at 6 on how to handle those types of hard situations.
Continuing to see plenty of sunshine out there today. We have seen some downpours out there. In fact, it waited in parts of Perry County until I walked outside the door to come to work in order to pour the rain. We'll continue to see, though, showers and storms pushing out through the evening. Low 80s in Hazard now. You can see those storms off in the distance. Otherwise, we're in pretty good shape. Same thing from our Pikeville Medical Center camera where the temperature sits at 81. Low to mid 80s out there. Even some upper 80s. Look at Jacksboro, Middlesboro, Harlan, all at 88 degrees. Factor in the dew points in the middle and upper 60s to near 70. She's a muggy one out there, and we'll continue to see those feels like temperatures likely into the 90s in some spots as we head through the rest of tonight. There you see a couple of downpours. We had some thunderstorms there, parts of Pike County, parts of the Cumberland Valley, finally pushing on out. A few more showers, though, not out of the question. You see, though, pretty clear out back to the west. So your forecast first as we head through the rest of this evening. We'll drop those temperatures quickly into the upper 60s, but only into the upper 60s as we head through tonight. Steve, I'll have the very latest on when we see a return potentially to a few more scattered storms in just a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. The murder of Floyd County woman Amber Spradlin has the community worried about the 911 system in the county. Spradlin's family hosted a news conference late last week, during which the attorneys for the family spoke about the need to move the 911 center back to KSP Post 9. Mayor Les Stapleton responded today, hosting a news conference in City Hall, saying the dispatch calls are always answered. The issue is having the police presence to respond to those calls when they are notified.
I'm not talking about answering 911. We're going to take the dispatch call, but get them dispatched out to law enforcement and everyone else. There has been discussions. There will be discussions, and I think you'll see a major improvement within months.
Stapleton said it is important for people to understand the difference between a dispatch worker and the act of dispatching a call. We'll have more on that coming up at 6. The manhunt is on in Baltimore for at least 2 shooters who opened fire at a block party early Sunday morning. Now, we want to warn you, some of the footage may be disturbing. CBS's Scott McFarland reports from Baltimore.
Baltimore's mayor says the city is searching for those responsible for the shooting rampage at a block party in Baltimore's Brooklyn community early Sunday morning.
We are not going to stop until we find them and hold them accountable.
Surveillance video shows a crowd filled with teenagers and young adults running for their lives as a spray of gunfire hit 30 people, killing an 18-year-old woman and a 20-year-old man.
People were running everywhere. People were crying. People were out of breath.
Laquel Nelson had just left the block party when she heard a flurry of shots ring out. She told us she helped two people who were wounded and covered with blood into her car, racing them to the nearest hospital.
I'd read red lights, dodged around cars. I have children myself, and I would have wanted someone to have done it for my child if she was in that predicament.
In a city trying to deal with a scourge of gun violence, the mayor says law enforcement has seized more than 1,300 illegal guns this year alone.
Even with this mass shooting and this incident that we have, Baltimore is seeing a 20% reduction in homicides year over year, and even a reduction in non-fatal shootings, even with this shooting.
This was the 339th mass shooting in America this year, and one of at least 4 over the weekend. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Baltimore.
Baltimore has recorded nearly 130 homicides just this year. Deadly violence is flaring once again as Israeli forces launch a lethal military operation in the city of Jenin. Israel says it was a counterterrorism operation, but Palestinians call it a war crime against defenseless people. Israeli Foreign Minister Eli Cohen says the Israeli military is striking the terrorism hub that operates within Jenin camp with great strength. At least one person has been killed in a Russian drone attack. That strike hit a residential building in a northeastern Ukrainian city. The head of the Ukrainian presidential office confirmed the strike on the 5-story building. In Canada, 2 people are missing and nearly 200 people were evacuated after heavy weekend rain caused landslides. A state of emergency was issued on Saturday for the region as authorities performed rescue operations. Environment Canada issued a severe thunderstorm watch for the region on Sunday afternoon, warning of torrential rainfall. Fireworks have a high-tech competitor this 4th of July. Drone displays are replacing traditional shows in some cities. Colette Bordelon has more from the owner of a drone show company near Denver.
Got it? The sky's the limit for these heavy boxes. Starting their trip in the dirt. But what's in the boxes is where the work takes off.
Heck yeah, let's talk about some drones.
Thomas Dolan could do that all day.
It gives you a view of the world that you can't get.
His young business, Bright Flight Drone Shows, has dreams of getting hundreds of drones.
All right, I'm gonna hover them.
And these drones really shine at night.
What are the differences between drone shows and fireworks shows?
There's a lot of differences. You know, I certainly don't want to, sit here and say that I don't love fireworks. I love fireworks. We know that there are downsides to fireworks.
He says those include injuries, noise pollution, and negative environmental impacts.
Drones, there's nothing. They are clean. It's a drone, our battery. You put them up, they put on a spectacular show, they come back, you're done.
Dolan admits weather can be problematic for drones, and how much they cost is another barrier.
There's limitations with our time frame. We're anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes is our typical drone show.
What would you say to the people who just don't want to watch a drone show? They want to see a fireworks show.
Just give it a chance.
A chance when Dolan believes drones are the way of the future for the 4th of July.
Dolan says his company is putting on private performances this year and hopes to put on larger events in the future. Coming up on First at 4, severe storms made for a wet end to the weekend across much of Kentucky.
And thank goodness, finally getting a break from the widespread stormy weather as we head through the next couple of days. But how long will it last? I'm tracking everything after this.